catch 'em all.
Alright, so I want to talk about a Bluetooth headset or earbuds. These are the really small type, so you don't really, I don't know how well you can see those. So they're not very big at all. So a lot of people like those these days, and they have a nice little case. So the case itself uses a micro USB. You push this button here on the end, you can see those 4 lights. That indicates the actual level of charge on the unit, and there's a slot here so you can actually see the earbuds charging. Now, let's talk about the charging real quick. I try, don't always succeed, but I always try for the most part, except for when I first get an item, it's relatively new, I will try to keep it charged for the first few times to the maximum level, and then after that, to prolong the life of the battery, I try to keep the battery on, well, any battery, whether it's on the actual buds, it's harder to do that, but on the buds themselves or on the case or on anything, smartphone, whatever, between 40 and 80%. Lithium-ion batteries have the best long-term usage when you keep the batteries between 40 and 80%. Beyond 80%, there's some deterioration because of the chemical reaction that causes the batteries to function. You can look that up if you want to know more. Anyway, so I can't give you exact numbers, but I can tell you that they rate these at a 4 to 6 hour use. For the buds, the case is supposed to be able to charge the buds 4 different times. But again, that depends on how far you're allowing them to become depleted. The other issue that I will say that plays into that is when you put these in the case, they begin charging automatically. You can see the red. They turn blue when they're charged, but I find occasionally they'll turn blue if I were to like pop them out, pull it out, it stops the charging, put it back in, and it's blue when I pull it out and I put it back in, it'll go back to red. Now, pulling it out and putting it back in shouldn't detract from the battery enough to cause it to go back into a charging state for very long, but sometimes it seems to vary. So every so often I wonder about that, and that's kind of been the case with every earbud that I've noticed that are these smaller type earbuds. So I don't know what exactly is going on with that, but it's something to take note of, keep in mind, and think about. But overall, I like these earbuds as far as the case. It's very solid. It has push right here, so if you push, it comes out, and you can see they don't just fall right out. That's because they're held in through a magnet, which is nice. You have the LED readout to show you the battery percentage. You can push that button to begin charging. I mean, you know, very cool. And you can also, of course, just drop these into place and they begin charging. So when you take these out, they automatically turn on and they want to begin pairing. Now, they do come with an instruction manual, and if you, for some reason, were to use one or lose pairing or whatever, there is information on how to go about pairing that. I'm not going to get into that. If you buy these, read the instruction manual, you'll figure it all out. It's not very difficult to read and follow the instructions, but there is a user manual. There are also these different sizes available. These come with the medium. I switched to the smaller size. I think they fit way better for me, and they don't stick out very far. This thing just powered on. It's going to try to connect automatically. I'm going to drop it back in the case. So they don't stick out of my ear very far. They are very comfortable. They're sweat proof, so you don't have to worry if you're going to be in like a rain shower or if you happen to be working out. Although I'm not sure if they're the best for working out, just because of how small they are. If you're running and you're not really paying attention, and the music was not playing for some reason, maybe if you're so zoned into something you're not paying attention, maybe you would lose them because of their size. I don't know. That's up for, you have to decide that. So they come with a micro USB charging cable. I use my own, so You can use your own if you want to. You saw the instruction manual, and they also come with this little bag if you want to carry them. But I kind of just leave them in here, and you can see one of them's charged, one of them is currently charging. So that's cool. But yeah, you can leave them right in this. It doesn't just like fall open, but you can see that it can come open. That was my point of shaking it. But see, it doesn't just fall open, but with a little bit of force it does fall open, or you can just push it open. So if you put these in your pocket, you'll want to put these in with the power button facing upward so they don't fall out like that. That's my suggestion. Or keep them in the bag and you don't have to worry about it. So either or. But by any means, these sound really good for phone calls. They have, like I said, 4 to 6 hours of usage. That's what they're rated at. Now, depending upon the volume, that may play into what you actually get out of it, and if you're using it for calls or you're using it for music. For music, they aren't going to give you the most bass out there, obviously. That's to be expected because of their small size, but they do sound quite good. They're extremely clear. Very, very happy about that aspect. There's no static, no buzzing, no background noise, no hums, no nothing. It's just completely clear. And for phone calls, a lot of people worry about the microphone and the sensitivity because they're way up in your ears. No problem whatsoever. Talking to people, I had about an hour conversation discussing some different things with a handyman, and the guy was like, I asked him about them because I was, told him I'm testing out some earbuds. I just want to know what his thoughts were. He said they were perfectly clear. His voice was perfectly clear. I did not have the phone on my person. It was sitting on the table, so I was moving about the room a little bit. So, no issues with the Bluetooth connectivity at all. Excuse me. So that's really good. It does come well packaged. Has a little box that it comes in, so it looks really nice, and it's very secure in the box. Has some foam to protect it, little clear cover, everything. Little packaging for the cable and for the ear caps. So yeah, so really, really clear. It doesn't really get distorted at high volumes either. So if you're going to be listening to it very loud, it does get pretty loud. And if you use the right size ear caps, you should have it fill your ears well enough that I'm not going to say it's going to totally block all surrounding noise, but it does isolate a lot of the background noise, especially if you are on a call or listening to music or something. So just really impressed with the microphone though, and the clarity that these are offering. That was surprising because when they're really, really small, you don't always get that because your voice doesn't travel as well. So really impressed in that regard. So overall, these are really, really nice. They work really, really well. Like I said, the only thing is, I don't know if it'll do it right now, but let's see. You can see this one's off. This one is blue. Let me pull this one out. It automatically turns on. The good thing about that is these automatically turn on. They sync with one another. See, that was done charging, but now it indicates that it's charging again. I don't think it should do that, but maybe it just always does that for a little while. I don't know. But anyway, when you pull these out, they automatically power on, and then they synchronize one another. They synchronize to the phone if you've already paired it with your phone. If not, you just do it the same way as normal. Go into your Bluetooth, hit the JH, whatever it is. It's actually in the manual, whatever they come up as, and it will pair quickly, easily. You also have different things that you'll hear in terms of the different things that happen, with the connectivity and the powering on and such. And they are touch sensitive, so you're not like pushing buttons, you're just touching them. And depending upon what you want to do, whether it's answer a call, reject a call, play, pause, track navigation, which ear you'll touch. So that's something to take note of. The other thing to keep in mind is when you're making a phone call with these, you're going to use a single ear, and when you're listening to music, it's going to be both ears. A lot of people question about that with others. That is the case with these. So that's pretty much everything I can think of. No distortion, high volume, really clear. Not the greatest bass, but they're okay. Better for calls than for music. Good connectivity with the Bluetooth. Pretty long battery life considering their size, and having the case means you can continually charge them. Charging on the case, again, I don't always allow it to be depleted, so I'm going to say you're probably in the 3 to 4 hour neighborhood. Well packaged, a good assortment of necessary sizes for fitment. Of course, cable, a manual that's easy to read and easy to use in case you need it, and the bag just to make sure that that doesn't happen in your pocket. And they're sweat proof, so you probably can use them in just about any scenario other than submersion. So don't submerge them underwater. Other than that, if you want to find out more, read more about them, read some other reviews, things of that nature, check out the link below. Thanks.